Johnny Mingione from New 102.7 in New York City. I'm here with the cast of Stranger Things. Guys, congratulations on the 5th season. Such a beautiful show, one of the best shows in television history, and I mean that. Charlie, what was it like on the very last day of filming, the emotionality with all of you guys?
Yeah, it was like a being hit by a train. No, it was it was beautiful without giving anything away. But the way we got to end it and the way the brothers planned for it to end for us, I think they were very, they were really thoughtful about how they wanted to close it out for, not just the story, but for us as, as people who've been working on it for 10 years, and they set it up in such a way that we got to have this. We shot this scene, and there is scenes. I won't specifically talk about it, but it just allowed us to really, really feel all the things and get a proper goodbye. That's maybe as vague as I. Yeah,
I think that was great.
Without giving anything away. Yeah.
But saying goodbye to each other after, growing up
other
together. You guys have been together for over 10 years. Mm-hmm. Do you still all stay in touch?
Yeah. No, we hate each other.
Can't stand sitting here right now.
It's painful. It's painful. It was really sad. We started crying and we didn't stop, kind of. And it was cyclical.
A lot of crying.
When people see it, I feel like they're really going to feel, even though they don't know us or, the love that went into having it be both meaningful for us and meaningful for the story.
Yeah.
I think that will become clear.
Yeah. You always have that thing as an actor of your experience making something that, there's the thing you make, which is great, and hopefully great, and you get to give that to the audience, but you have your own experience that's really special and just in your life, and I think in some ways it felt like we kind of got, hopefully, as you're saying, like, I don't know, like there's crossover, and that it pays off, and that you get to experience that as the audience too.
I'm Megan Holiday. I'm from K-Rock in Los Angeles and Live 105 in San Francisco. A lot of time went by between filming. So how easy or difficult was it to jump back into the characters? And how do you feel like your character evolved in this new season? And if we can start with Charlie and just
Start with me. Or
we can start with Joe.
I was going to Joe. You should answer that.
Yeah.
Let me say that because you said something to me. I remember we were talking about it when we were shooting, and you said something I thought was really interesting. It's like you say it.
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. So please.
Well, like when you start the show, you're in this place, and then every time it's kind of like you said earlier, actually. So we're on the same radio.
But we hate each other.
You shoot it, and then you live your own life, and then you go back to this character, and lots change, and then you go live more life, and then you come back, and like this time definitely felt like for me, it was like, wow, I feel maybe at the start the furthest that I've ever felt from this, but kind of. It's cool to think about, I don't know, the character's life and how maybe your own life sort of mirrors it in a way, and how it's different, and how that can maybe just bring new depth to what the character's experiencing in the season. So, yeah, you kind of can't help but just incorporate your own life into it, because it is your life, really. Last year, 2024 for me, if I look back on that year in my phone, in my calendar, whatever, it's like Stranger Things all year.
Yeah, totally.
That's kind of cool that we had that.
Yeah.
Did I answer your question? I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Just how was it jumping back in, and how has your character changed or evolved?
I feel like
I think jumping back in is it's both. It's that thing of like it feels like it was a while ago, but also feels like it was yesterday. I do think the costume, for me, the wig, like there's a lot of that I think comes into it, where you're like, oh yeah, we're back. When you put on the full look.
We're back, baby.
Oh, we're back. And we've been shooting in this the same sort of studio lot for all of these seasons, and it's kind of like coming back to school. There's there is that returning element that's somewhat familiar in those seasonal things of life, like school or college and or camp. We talk about camp a lot, and getting to come back to that space together, I think brings you back in. Did I answer your question?
Yeah. They're all great. Yeah.
I feel like, we've all got to grow up with these characters so much, and I feel like the different, Robin became like a weird broken mirror for me, where like there were always so many ways in which I was like, this is exactly who I am. And so many ways in which I was like, oh, I'm actually not this person. And and that kind of opposition and rub, I think, was there at the beginning of every season that I started, from like even my first season of being like, okay, who is this character? How do I fit into her? And how is she being inspired by me? How am I being inspired by her? I mean, I have a rule for myself. I'm not allowed to buy clothing when I'm working because I will buy clothing for the character. And then the show will wrap and I'll be like, why do I have all of these 80s like skinny jeans? Or like, why do I have this petticoat? When did I think I needed a petticoat? So it's like it all gets very blurry, especially when you're doing something for so long. But I think when I look back at all of the seasons, I see a different Robin every season. Even if other people see one character on a journey, I see, a person who went into every season trying to figure out how to make it mean something to them, in a new way that year, in a new moment, and to kind of live and breathe within that person. And I think the season was no different. But if anything, this season for me was the most, like the least in my head about what does this say about me and who am I and how is this working for me? And it was more just like, oh, I just get to be here at camp with my guy. I'm just gonna try to be present and look into the eyes of my guys and like get to live in this world.
Similar to, I guess, everyone's answer in a way. It's like finding the parts of you that are close to this character. I don't know, sometimes I feel like it's very like the same thing. It's like the character's me in the bones, and then sometimes I'm like, actually, that's really not me, and I've got to really fucking work. Sorry,
We're not supposed to curse. I
don't know. Figure out who that is. But I will say one thing, and I did this recently. I said goodbye. What I noticed, I said goodbye to Jonathan. Right, we all said goodbye. I had to put the costume and the wig on recently to do something for for the show, and it was what I didn't think too much about this when I was filming it, but I really came to me was like my posture changed a little bit, and I felt a bit more nervous, and I felt a bit more quiet than I usually am, and it was just amazing that did that. It was like saying hello to a friend.
Yeah.
And like, yo.
For the reshoots, I did the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh
Like, all of a
yeah.
sudden-
I've got this is, and it was crazy. I guess.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Yeah.
Thank you
you
so
can
much,
do it.
guys. Thank you. Hi, I'm Julia from Alt 98.7 in Detroit. During a rewatch or just looking back on any of the seasons, was there something that maybe you didn't recognize the brilliance of then, but now you've really appreciated it? Was it whether it was a scene or a moment in the show? Charlie, we'll start with you.
I just talked.
But you did so great.
Oh man, so much of it. Yeah, I guess like broadly, probably most of it in a way. And what I mean is like when you're in the eye of the storm, sometimes it is hard to appreciate it for what it is. And I think just to kind of this season, I think everyone made such a conscious effort to look around and be like, what is this? Like look at what we're doing, and try and be present, because when you're filming for a year or 2 years, of course there's days when it's just work and you're just coming in and you've seen the same faces, but this season felt like every day let's try and not take let's as much as we can try and not take it for granted. Every set you're on, every moment, because it's something that does feel bigger than some of its parts. Don't remember the question. Am I answering
Great
it?
answer.
You do great.
And I guess also sometimes just rewatching the show is you get to, like Natalia was saying, you read it as that's like us watching it for the first time. You do it and then you watch the product back, and sometimes I'm like, wow, the brothers are genius, and it's like you forget and you're like, oh, that's what they were doing this whole time when we were sharing looks and making silly faces, or it's like you see it as an entity, and you're like, wow. And also the difference between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they're all separate volumes with their own energy and their own references, and that's the brothers, and that's why people like the show, and that's the end of my answer.
Great. I mean, I feel like I can see, I was like thinking, obviously while he was talking, I was thinking about what I was gonna say, and not listening, but when I can see what I'm trying to say in print as a pull quote, and I don't like it, but I'm gonna try to say it in a different way. I feel like every single season, I was like, even on season 3, I'd watch the first 2 seasons of the show. I'm like, oh my God, this show's incredible, it's amazing. I read the scripts, I'm like, oh, they lost it. Like, I don't think I get it. And then I would come and do it, and then I would watch the show and I'd be like, it's amazing! You know, like, oh my God. And so sometimes I feel like I was just like always an idiot, like an idiot of just being like, I don't know if this dynamic of these 2 characters together is gonna work. And I'm like, oh, that's incredible! and so I sometimes just feel like an always idiot every time I watch the show, because there were so many things that are like, I don't think this scene's working. Like, God, what are we just doing? Like, okay, we're gonna share looks right in here. It's so stupid. And then it's like, oh my God, it's moving. I'm crying. and so I kind of like feel like such an idiot. But this last season, I finally like undid my feeling of being the uncanary in the coal mine, of just like being completely wrong always about what was gonna work and what wasn't gonna work. And this season, I was just like, I just trust so much that there's something, there's a, I don't know, I always knew they knew what they were doing. I didn't know what I was doing. Right. And this season I was like, oh, it doesn't matter that you don't know what you're doing, because they know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very easy to get, sort of tunnel vision about your storyline or your character, or things that you think, and especially after, being in a character, inhabiting a character for years, and you do start to feel precious about them, and you start to, advocate and for them in certain ways. But I do think, I think just those moments where you go back and watch these dynamics and how the Duffers, they're young and they started young, and I think that's, something that they probably had to fight against, but they really do hold so much space and thought and care for all of these characters and their stories and their interactions and their dynamics. And I think it's really easy sometimes to want to fight against that when you have so many opinions and feelings about it. But in the end, I agree. I think I'm always just like, yeah, man, they're storytellers, they're visionaries and they're storytellers. And I think, giving them their props for this whole arc journey.
It's crazy that they did it.
Yeah.
Those guys.
I really like about the show that they have so many different versions of like an outcast and what it means to be like left out, so far beyond just like the nerds, the this, the that. I feel like they just have they painted such a, it's larger than life obviously, but they painted such like a great picture of what it means to be young. And I think that's so cool, and I think that's why I connected to people.
Yeah.
They also have such an extraordinary attention to detail. Like, I was just recording a Rockin' Robin PSA announcement, and I got texts from them being like, hey, we reviewed the material, we didn't have time to rewrite it, but we think it's okay. Let us know if you have any problems. And it's like, that's love. They're not just paying attention to the script on the show, they're paying attention to the scripts of the promotional material. And if you're their actor, if you need them, you can text them any day and be like, this line doesn't feel right, this doesn't, what do you think? And they're there for you, and they're paying attention, and they love these characters. And it's such an honor to get to work with creators and writers like that.
For sure, yeah.
You guys are also multi-talented. If you guys had to do one super group of Stranger Things, a band, I know you're all musicians, or most of you. Who plays lead guitar? Charlie, you playing drums?
I'll do.
Well, what do you want? What do you guys want?
I'd like to do lyrics, if that's okay. At least I'd like to be sort through other people's lyrics and be captain.
You want to be in charge?
I want to be in charge.
That sounds good. I've never played bass in a band, and I would really like to play the bass. I feel like that's unless Natalia, you want to play the bass.
I could give it a go.
Yeah.
Do you play bass?
Oh, she plays.
I can. I'm a quick study. So.
Can Gaten be our lead singer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh my God.
What would the band name be?
Oh man.
The Gaetanos.
Yeah, there you go. Because we'd be in support of Gate.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for your
Thank you
time.
guys so much. Really appreciate it.